Chapter 1301, Approach of the Great Era. Chapter 1301, Approach of the Great Era. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Central Continent, Hidden Dragon Cave. Greetings to Superior Immortal from Heavenly Court. 2 Gu immortals knelt on the ground. One old and one young. A grandfather and a grandson. They were Gu immortals from Wind Cloud Manor. The young Gu immortal was Feng Chanzi, while the elderly man was Old Man Bei Feng, with rank 8 cultivation level. Among the 10 great ancient sects of Central Continent, he was famous, and without any mishaps, he would have become a member of Heavenly Court already. It was not easy or normal to become a member of Heavenly Court. Rank 8 cultivation level was not enough, they had to be elites among rank 8s. This standard had never been lowered since Heavenly Court was created. Heavenly Court did not waver in this aspect, too few was better than too many. And this Old Man Bei Feng was now kneeling on the ground, expressing his reverence. The person he was kneeling to was an extremely weak old man, he was shaking as if a gust of wind could blow him away. But this old man was not ordinary, he had a huge origin, he left a deep mark in Heavenly Court's history. He was Duke Long. "Get up, bring me inside." Duke Long said plainly. "Yes." Old Man Bei Feng acknowledged. A moment later, Duke Long came to the deepest part of Hidden Dragon Cave. This was a deep earth trench, it was larger than the earth trench that Northern Plains Zombie Alliance had. It was possible to stuff thousands of cities into it easily. Duke Long and Old Man Bei Feng were tiny like dust specks compared to it. From their view, the entire earth trench was covered in darkness, this darkness was so deep that one could not see through it. Rumble. Suddenly, the entire earth trench started shaking intensely. The 2 sides of the earth trench started to have falling rocks. The earthquake caused incredible sound waves that would make people shell-shocked. Old Man Bei Feng's expression changed, he quickly used the immortal Gu in his immortal aperture. Suddenly, bright lights shone as countless auroras and flowing water weaved together dazzlingly. There was actually a huge super Gu formation here. In contrast to this Gu formation, the one that surrounded Southern Border's dream realm was just a kitten compared to an elephant. Old Man Bei Feng controlled the Gu formation, his expression quickly changed as his forehead was covered in sweat. The commotion is so huge. As a great rank 8 Gu immortal, he was actually feeling difficulty now. This super Gu formation was suppressing a terrifying life form, Old Man Bei Feng could only barely deal with it using the super Gu formation. It seems that after so many years, you are still so lively. Di Zhongsheng. At this time, Duke Long spoke plainly. Roar. At the next moment, an overwhelming dragon roar filled the entire earth trench. The super Gu formation's aurora lights were dispersing, flowing water was disrupted. Old Man Bei Feng's forehead was dripping with sweat, he thought, this is after the super Gu formation's isolation, the volume is still so loud. If I have to face this evil dragon directly, I am afraid. Duke Long was unmoved, he assessed, it seems your temper has not changed, you are still so feisty. Accursed old man. This time, a voice came from inside the Gu formation. The voice was just as loud. At the next moment, a huge dragon head appeared from within the aurora light and flowing water. It was Evil Dragon, Di Zhongsheng. This immemorial desolate beast had a huge origin, it was a legendary immemorial desolate beast created from endless hatred, anger, and grudges, all these negatives emotions in Central Continent's earth veins. It was born of nature, because it was created from the collective negative emotions of humans. After it was born, it had intelligence that matched humans. Initially, it could only roar and growl, but after learning, it could use Hope Gu to awaken its aperture, it learned human language, and for some time, it turned into a human and tried to master Gu immortal methods. For some time, it wreaked havoc in Central Continent, it caused great distress and chaos in the world. But eventually, it was suppressed by Duke Long. It was suppressed for countless years. But Heavenly Court could not kill it. Because it was formed from the negative emotions of humans. As long as humanity still flourished, the evil dragon would continue to grow stronger every day. Even if its body was destroyed or completely decimated. Soon, it would form from new earth veins, and continue to cause chaos in the world. That was why Heavenly Court used a super Gu formation to suppress this evil dragon. The people guarding the place were rotated from time to time. This time, Feng Chanzi sold immortal materials for his own profits. He was punished to guard Hidden Dragon Cave. And his grandpa knew that he could not do this alone, so he gave up the chance to join Heavenly Court and came to look after this evil dragon. After the evil dragon saw Duke Long, it became incredibly furious. The meeting of enemies filled with animosity. Why are you roaring and growling? You cannot escape from this prison. Duke Long said plainly. Di Zongsheng heard this and no longer raged, it laughed, ha ha ha, I almost forgot. Accursed old man, you are going to die soon. Your lifespan is reaching its limit, you only have one last chance of extending your life. Even lifespan Gu cannot save you. Haha, this is hilarious, so what if you suppressed me? I am alive, while you are dying. Duke Long nodded, you are right. Sometimes, I envy you, you have a long lifespan from birth, you innately have longevity. This might be the last time we meet, let me borrow 10 years of life from you. Saying this, Duke Long sucked in a breath. Old man Bei Feng was shocked to find out that as the guardian, he instantly lost control of this Gu formation. Di Zongsheng was suppressed by Duke Long, this super Gu formation was created by Duke Long personally. Duke Long was the true owner of this super Gu formation. Roar! Di Zongsheng let out a painful cry. Duke Long was still sucking. Old man Bei Feng could not tell what Duke Long was actually sucking. It seemed to be a sort of life essence that could not be seen with the naked eye. It was forcefully extracted from Di Zongsheng's body, sucked into Duke Long's own body. It seems that this super Gu formation is not purely for suppressing Di Zongsheng, it has this kind of effect. Old man Bei Feng had an epiphany. During the process of sucking, Duke Long's body inflated like a balloon from its twig-like appearance. His pale yellow ragged face faded to a normal color. His pale white hair also turned dark. He was hunchbacked earlier and had fragile bones that emitted cracking sounds, but it had straightened now. Most evidently, the pair of horns on his head were originally shriveled like two lumps of meat, but now, they shined with a metallic luster, piercing towards the sky. Bam! His peak rank 8 aura burst out like an invisible wall, pushing outwards. Old man Bei Feng took a step back uncontrollably, looking at Duke Long's majestic background, he had a sense of admiration in his heart. In contrast to Duke Long was evil dragon Di Zongsheng. It said in a hoarse voice, damned old man, that is merely 10 years of lifespan. It's like I'm giving a pool of piss to you. Ha ha ha. It was still laughing, but it was very weak now. Duke Long clenched his fists, saying nonchalantly, evil dragon, you do not understand, how can I, Duke Long, fear death? I woke up this time to make up for my previous mistake. 10 years is more than enough. Enough for? What are you trying to do? Evil dragon asked. What else? The great era is coming. Duke Long said with deep meaning. Great era? Great era. Don't tell me, the earth veins will merge, the regional walls will vanish, and the 5 regions will become one. Wait, accursed old man, don't go, tell me everything. Di Zongsheng shouted. But Duke Long sneered, why would he care about a captive? He turned around and left Hidden Dragon Cave without any hesitation. Southern border. A nameless place. River water was surging. This was a tributary of the River of Time. Xianxia and the rest had been waiting by the riverside for a long time. A figure emerged from the tributary of the River of Time. Quick! Let's quickly give Lord a helping hand. Xianxia saw this and shouted. He Lulan and Bai Ningbing worked together beside him, activating the Gu formation. Under the effect of the Gu formation, Purple Mountain True Monarch escaped from the tributary of the River of Time. He was like a drowning person, he barely managed to crawl ashore, he breathed roughly and was soaked to the bones. Purple Mountain True Monarch actually managed to return safely after entering the River of Time. Bai Ningbing was expressionless, but she was shocked on the inside. "Lord, did you succeed?" Seeing Purple Mountain True Monarch regain his composure, Xianxia asked this. Purple Mountain True Monarch nodded. "I went into the Red Lotus and interacted with that will, my gains were phenomenal." "Is that so?" Xianxia was overjoyed. But Purple Mountain True Monarch had a solemn expression. "I used Red Lotus True Inheritance to observe the past and future. Before Fong Yuan was reborn, our Shadow sect had succeeded. We delayed the Great Era by 500 years, we exterminated the future Great Dream Immortal Venerable before she matured, we even had Heavenly Court completely under our control. It is a pity that Fong Yuan changed everything. Shadow sect cannot stop it anymore, the Great Era is coming." Xianxia had an extremely shocked expression. Bai Ningbing and He Lulan looked at each other, feeling puzzled. The former asked coldly, "What is the Great Era?" Xianxia breathed in deeply and answered, "The earth veins will merge, the regional walls will vanish, the 5 regions will become one, and Great Dream becomes venerable. This is the Great Era." He Lulan and Bai Ningbing were stunned. At the same time, Fong Yuan went back to southern border using Wu Yihai's appearance. He was back in Wu Clan. "I am finally back. This time, I must absorb the dream realm and go all out in raising my attainment levels. There is enough time. After 500 years, during the 5 regions chaotic war, I might become a great grandmaster of every path already. I am looking forward to it. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 1302, Divination Tortoise Transformation. Chapter 1302, Divination Tortoise Transformation. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Southern Border, Wu Clan. Fong Yuan entered Southern Border, using Wu Yihai's appearance. He went all the way back to Wu Clan's headquarters. Knowing that he was back, Wu Clan's current first supreme elder, Wu Yong, summoned him. "Brother, these are the immortal Gu that I borrowed from the clan, I am returning them now." Fong Yuan returned the immortal Gu in his hands. Wu Yong received them and smiled as he sat in the main seat. "Was your journey to Eastern Sea fruitful?" Every Gu immortal had their own secrets, especially someone with a special status like Wu Yihai. Wu Yong could not probe excessively. His question was really just small talk. "I had great gains." Fong Yuan showed some joy on his face, it was very realistic. "That is good." Wu Yong nodded. He would not be able to imagine how great Fong Yuan's gains were. After leaving Southern Border, Fong Yuan chased after Shadow Sect's remnant forces. Even though he did not succeed in killing them, his gains were huge. Not only did Fong Yuan obtain Perseverance Immortal Gu and become the Reverse Flow River Lord, his battle strength surged and he could go unscathed against rank 8 Gu immortals. Lu Guanyi's reputation was renowned in the entire world. Furthermore, while returning, he participated in an Eastern Sea trading convention. He obtained Divination Tortoise Shell Immortal Gu and rank 6 Day Gu. "Thank you for the concern, brother. I wonder when can I return to the Gu formation to cultivate? Please arrange it for me," Fong Yuan said with a polite and humble tone. Wu Yong was very satisfied with Fong Yuan's performance. These last days, he had control of Wu Clan. Because Fong Yuan backed down, there were few obstacles in Wu Clan. He successfully took over the clan and obtained the highest authority. Right now, Wu Yong was already different from when he first took over. He was more composed and grand, he gave off an indomitable aura, he had great authority. He was very happy about Fong Yuan's attitude. Clans were different from sects, bloodline was very important. Wu Yihai's status in Wu Clan made him very special among Wu Clan's Gu immortals. In terms of bloodline, he was solely inferior to Wu Yong, and was above everyone else. Wu Yihai wanted to cultivate in seclusion, Wu Yong was sure to satisfy it. Thus, he agreed, return to your residence and rest first. I will arrange this, in a few days, it will be ready. Thank you, brother, I will take my leave. Fang Yuan left after seeing that his objective was achieved. He had a home in Wu Clan. When he first joined Wu Clan, he was assigned by Wu Clan to live on this bare mountain. Wu Yong is starting to be in control of Wu Clan. Wu Yihai's identity is very sensitive. If he worked with an ambitious clan like Xiao Clan, to create lots of problems, Wu Yong would have a huge headache. Thus, to play safe, Wu Yong would not let Wu Yihai roam around and make contributions for the clan, and increase his reputation. Other Wu Clan Gu immortals were fine, but Wu Yihai was not. Or rather, not for now. Wu Du Xiu had just died, Wu Yong was in control of Wu Clan, but it was not a stable position. Fang Yuan was very aware of Wu Clan's situation. He was not worried that he would be unable to return to the Super Gu formation. While staying on the mountain, he cultivated. But his immortal aperture could not be placed down. Not to mention opening the immortal aperture's entrance and taking in heaven and earth chi. My sovereign immortal aperture's foundation is too deep, each time it absorbs heaven and earth chi, the commotion is huge, winds would surge and clouds would move. But reverse flow river really consumes a lot of heaven and earth chi. It seems that I will need to go to Tian Mountain later to take in heaven and earth chi, only by replenishing it will I sustain the sovereign immortal aperture and prevent my foundation from falling. This was a form of burden. But it was a good one. Even though Wu Yong asked him to rest, Fang Yuan did not rest. He continued to cultivate, he was fighting against time. During this period, many Gu immortals from the clan came to visit Wu Yihai, who had a special status, but Fang Yuan rejected them all. This attitude made Wu Yong very pleased. He felt that Wu Yihai was not trying to interfere in the clan affairs. Thus, he gave Fang Yuan a lot of immortal materials under his own name. Not only was he trying to reward and appeal to him, he was also trying to gain reputation for being a caring brother. At the peak of the mountain, Fang Yuan, who was inside his huge house, had turned into a tortoise. This tortoise was as large as a house, it was black and had a thick and tough shell, there were countless markings on its shell, it was difficult to observe but it had a certain order. It was a divination tortoise. This ancient desolate beast was associated with wisdom path. After transforming, Fang Yuan's transformation path Dao marks turned into wisdom path. With his wisdom path Dao mark accumulation, there was a huge quantitative change. With this foundation, Fang Yuan could use wisdom path deduction methods with greater efficiency. It was at least several times or even more than 10 times that of before. Simply divination tortoise shell immortal Gu, in terms of the Gu worm itself, it could not compare to attitude Gu or wisdom sword immortal Gu, even flying sword, sword escape, and dragon breath were better than it. But regarding Fang Yuan, it was extremely useful. Suddenly, a brilliant light shined in the divination tortoise's eyes. After 10 or so days of hard work, I finally succeeded in deducing the killer move, divination tortoise transformation. At Fang Yuan's will, he turned back to human. Next, he tried to use the newly completed divination tortoise transformation killer move. Once, twice, thrice. After more than 10 times, he finally finished making his adjustments. A new divination tortoise transformation. He added in a lot of transformation path mortal Gu, like tortoise head Gu, tortoise tail Gu, tortoise leg Gu, and others. There were also some wisdom path Gu worms, to increase the divination tortoise's ability to block deductions, until Fang Yuan reached his limits. There were also many defensive Gu worms. Of course, there were only 2 cores. One was rank 7 divination tortoise shell immortal Gu, the other was change form immortal Gu. The brand new divination tortoise was larger than before, it was lifelike like an actual ancient desolate beast divination tortoise. Especially the tortoise shell, countless Dao marks were weaved together in a crisscrossing fashion, there were an enormous number of them. Very good, I have reached my current limit. Fang Yuan experimented and felt very pleased. This was all thanks to his wisdom path and transformation path grandmaster attainment levels. Deducing these killer moves was as simple as drinking water. Similar to the ancient sword dragon transformation, which combined transformation path and sword path. This divination tortoise transformation was the combination of transformation path and wisdom path. And now, Fang Yuan had a new fighting method. It was not an incomplete version like before, this could be fully used in battle. And most crucially, the killer moves ancient sword dragon transformation, reverse flow protection seal, and myriad self could not be used in battle, but this divination tortoise transformation covered the flaw, it solved Fang Yuan's current problem. Fang Yuan stopped the transformation and rested to regain his mental energy. He closed his eyes and his mind entered sovereign immortal aperture. Landscape as before. The rank 6 immortal Gu was used, targeting reverse flow river in the immortal aperture. Red date immortal essence was expended rapidly, while reverse flow river started to produce river water under the power of landscape as before. The efficiency is too low. Fang Yuan sighed. This was not his first experiment, he was quite disappointed. Landscape as before immortal Gu, even though it was effective on reverse flow river, the effect was mild. This formed a clear contrast to Luopa Valley and Dang Hun Mountain. Why is it that using landscape as before on Dang Hun Mountain and Luopa Valley had such incredible effects, but on reverse flow river, it barely works? Fang Yuan was puzzled. Was reverse flow river more special than the other two secluded domains of heaven and earth? What other reasons were there? If he could repair reverse flow river immediately, that would be great. He would have an unceasing supply of reverse flow river's water. But reality was less than perfect for Fang Yuan. Wait. Dang Hun Mountain and Luopa Valley were once in the possession of Spectral Soul Demon Venerable. And Spectral Soul Demon Venerable was the creator of Sovereign Immortal Fetus Gu. Maybe, these two secluded domains of heaven and earth were modified by Shadow Sect, just like how He Lu Lan and the others could use immortal Gu of other paths without being restricted by Dao marks. Fang Yuan had a flash of inspiration. His guess was right. Not only did Shadow Sect have a method to allow Gu immortals to cultivate other paths without facing conflicting Dao marks, they could also modify secluded domains of heaven and earth, to allow immortal Gu of certain paths to be very effective on the secluded domains of heaven and earth and not face conflicts from Dao marks. And Time Path immortal Gu were fully effective on Dang Hun Mountain and Luopa Valley, they would not be resisted by the vast number of Soul Path Dao marks in them. This was because landscape as before and man as before belonged to Shadow Sect. They were passed to Tai by Yunsheng through Purple Mountain True Monarch. As for reverse flow river, Shadow Sect did not have it, they had no interest in this river either. Thus, reverse flow river was not modified. When Fang Yuan used landscape as before on reverse flow river, it was weakened by its vast number of Dao marks, and had little effect. And this was already because Fang Yuan was the reverse flow river lord, otherwise, landscape as before's effect would be reflected upon him. Reverse flow river lost a lot of water, the rank 8 existences depleted a good amount. But thankfully, it is recovering, even though the speed is very slow. Can I use reverse flow protection seal to resist immemorial year beasts? Fang Yuan shook his head. Using reverse flow river, he could at most defend himself. If an immemorial year beast tried to destroy the immortal aperture, he could do nothing against it. He thought about this because Fang Yuan was concerned about the sealed rank 8 immortal Gu, years flow like water. Even though his battle strength surged greatly, Fang Yuan was still unable to unseal years flow like water currently. Like this, Fang Yuan cultivated silently, waiting for Wu Yong's arrangement for returning to the giant dream realm. But a few days later, a minor mishap occurred. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1303, Divination Tortoise's Power. Chapter 1303, Divination Tortoise's Power. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Southern Border, Wu Clan. In the hall, Fang Yuan, Wu Yong, and another Gu immortal were present. He had a tall body, he wore a black and white coat, he had a long beard that extended downwards to his chest. His eyes were slim and long, a mysterious light was hidden in them, his body was covered in mist. Wu Clan Gu immortal, Wu Yu Bo, a prideful person with peak rank 7 battle strength, it was only slightly lower than old Treeman Bada. Gu immortal Yan Huang challenged Yu Bo, the reality is that Xia clan is after Moon Bowl. This place produces Moon Path Gu worms, it is one of the most important resource points of our clan, we cannot lose. Wu Yong said. Since I am going, there is no need to worry. If I can defeat Yan Huang twice, I can win a third time. Wu Yu Bo said coldly. Moon Bowl was not a bowl, it was a valley. But this valley had a peculiar shape, resembling a bowl, and because it produced Moon Path Gu worms, people called it Moon Bowl. Moon Bowl had a village in it. But when Wu Clan expanded, in order to take over Moon Bowl, they eradicated this village. There was a Gu immortal in this village, he was known as Immortal Yan Huang. Wu Clan sent out Wu Yu Bo and defeated him. Immortal Yan Huang could not defeat them and had to escape in tears, abandoning his home. Wu Clan was a righteous path clan, they needed a proper reason to take over Moon Bowl, they could not kill Immortal Yan Huang directly. This was the rules of the righteous path. Immortal Yan Huang left with hatred, to take revenge, he hid his identity and practiced his killer moves, but he still lost to Wu Yu Bo a second time. After Wu Clan learned of his whereabouts, they knew that this enmity was unresolvable, they gathered Gu immortals to assassinate Immortal Yan Huang. But at the crucial moment, Immortal Yan Huang was saved by an unknown force. Wu Clan wanted to pursue it, but at that time, Wu Du Xiu died, Wu Clan was in chaos and Wu Yong had just taken over, he needed to suppress the situation. This gave Immortal Yan Huang some time to recover. Until now, a few days ago, Immortal Yan Huang sent a challenge to Wu Yu Bo with Moon Bowl as the stake. Whoever wins would obtain Moon Bowl. Wu Clan was the #1 super force in Southern Border, how could they not accept it? But Wu Yong's worry was that Immortal Yan Huang was here after joining Xia clan, a super force, he was no longer all alone. This meant that the mysterious force which helped Immortal Yan Huang earlier was undoubtedly Xia clan. On the surface, this was Immortal Yan Huang challenging Wu Yu Bo. But the truth was, this matter was significant, it was the contest of two super forces. This challenge had been spread widely, the attention of many Southern Border forces and Gu immortal experts were drawn to it. After Wu Du Xiu died, even though Wu Clan was still the #1 force, its reputation had fallen. Xia clan was the first challenger of Wu Clan's dominance. If Wu Clan lost this, the other clans would smell weakness and everyone would be tempted to target Wu Clan, there would be huge problems. This was Wu Yong's worry. Immortal Yan Huang's open challenge was now the first hurdle of Wu Yong's rule. Yu Bo, don't be careless, you know how important this is for our clan. Wu Yong sighed, that Yan Huang joined Xia clan, he is given aid by them, they must have ill intentions and be amply prepared this time if they are challenging you. First Supreme Elder, you only need to wait for good news. Wu Yu Bo had a nonchalant expression, he glanced at Fang Yuan and said, in my opinion, we don't need to bring so many people. This Yan Huang is just a loser, I can easily capture him. We should play safe, my brother is skilled in 3 transformations, he is a rank 7 expert, with him guarding you, I can rest assured. Wu Yong said. Wu Clan had a huge territory, even though there were many Wu Clan Gu immortals, they were split up in many places, they lacked manpower. Originally, Wu Yong was planning to send Fang Yuan to the Super Gu formation. But now that this happened, Wu Yong had to send Fang Yuan to guard Wu Yu Bo. After all, Immortal Yan Huang was not alone, he was accompanied by Xia clan Gu immortal Xia Qing. Fang Yuan had joined Wu Clan, although he could reject this, there was no harm in going, Fang Yuan agreed. This was a good task, he only needed to stay on guard, after it was over, the clan would reward him for the help. Wu Yubo did not care, but Wu Yong insisted on it, he could not reject it. This matter was decided. A few days later, Wu Yubo went to the designated location with Fang Yuan. Over there, Xia Qingcang and Immortal Yan Huang were waiting already. Immortal Yan Huang looked like a middle-aged Gu immortal. He had a mature expression and ordinary appearance. After seeing Wu Yubo, his expression changed. He stared with wide-opened eyes, like they were spewing fire. But that Xia Qingcang had a special disposition. His body stood tall and straight like a mountain peak. He had a square face and white hair. Especially his beard, it was tough like needles. His eyes were shining brightly. Wu Yubo, you destroyed my village and killed my descendants. I will return all this humiliation to you today. Immortal Yan Huang growled. Wu Yubo sneered, simply slander. I did that to find traces of blood path and uphold justice, eliminating evil for this world. You are not a righteous person, and you dare to smear me, you deserve death. The two fought immediately. Fang Yuan and Xia Qingcang watched at the two ends of the battlefield, staying on guard for their respective Gu immortals. There was nothing to say, everyone knew the real reason, but the righteous path had to put a front of righteousness over their intentions. Immortal Yan Huang was a fire and earth path dual cultivator. On one hand, his flames were like rising dragons, emitting tremendous heat. On the other hand, rocks were rumbling, there was a huge commotion. Meanwhile, Wu Yubo cultivated water path. He moved like falling leaves, he was grand and swift, there was grace in his actions. His body was covered in water vapor, there was drizzle from the sky, but the rain was able to dissolve all of Immortal Yan Huang's flames and rocks. Evidently, Wu Yubo had the upper hand. However, the battle had just started, both sides were probing, they had not used their Immortal Gu or Immortal Killer moves yet. Fang Yuan watched as he investigated the surroundings. He was defending against Xia Qingcang, in case he used any sneak attacks. Xia Qingcang seemed very relaxed, he looked at Fang Yuan at times, smiling when his gaze met with Fang Yuan's eyes. This made Fang Yuan feel uneasy. Xia Qingcang was a wisdom path Gu immortal, he was famous in southern border, he was a high-level character. The battle continued. Both sides started to use Immortal Gu and Immortal Killer moves. Immortal Yan Huang was always suppressed and pressured by Wu Yubo, the advantage the latter had was becoming clearer. Victory was near, Fang Yuan did not dare to be careless. If he failed his job, he would be punished when he returned to the clan. Yan Huang, die. It is your honor to die for my signature killer move. Wu Yubo had deep killing intent, a cold light was shining in his slim and long eyes. He activated his Immortal Killer move, rain poured down as clouds gathered, dark winds were howling, the three fused together to form a ball-shaped cage capturing Immortal Yan Huang. Immortal Yan Huang was trapped inside and could not leave, he was in a desperate situation, he was about to die. Fang Yuan closely observed Xia Qingcang, guarding against his intervention. But Xia Qingcang had a smile on his face, he watched casually, seemingly having no intention to interfere. But at this time, Immortal Yan Huang suddenly laughed loudly, the aura of countless Gu worms appeared from his body, a bright light was shining from his body. Immediately, the cage that trapped him broke apart. How can this be? Wu Yubo was shocked, he was caught off guard, his signature killer move was broken, he immediately suffered huge injuries. The lava under Immortal Yan Huang's feet gathered and formed a battlefield. This was an immortal battlefield killer move. Wu Yubo had a pale expression, he was trapped inside the battlefield. The situation had turned around, Wu Yubo was in grave danger. With this sudden change, Fang Yuan wanted to help, but Xia Qingcang flew to him, warning him, Wu Yi Hai, don't be the shame of Wu clan. Fang Yuan chuckled, how can an outsider like you determine if our Wu clan is shameful? Saying this, he turned into a divination tortoise and charged into the lava battlefield. Xia Qingcang praised Fang Yuan's resolute decision internally, but he did not move slowly, in that case, have a taste of my killer move, Scattering Mind. A wisdom path immortal killer move. Xia Qingcang used his signature killer move right away, it was a powerful method. Any Gu immortal hit with this would feel their mind wandering, there would be random thoughts colliding in their mind, their battle strength would be greatly affected. If they were careless, they would fall into confusion and be unable to help themselves. Fang Yuan chuckled, he kept charging towards the battlefield killer move without caring. Fool! Xianxia mocked coldly. At the next moment, his scattering mind hit Fang Yuan, but it dissipated, while Fang Yuan was unscathed. Xianxia's cold smile froze on his face. How can this be? This is divination tortoise. Xianxia finally recognized Fang Yuan's transformation. He had a bitter expression. The divination tortoise was a wisdom path ancient desolate beast. It was skilled against the deductions of wisdom path Gu immortals. This wisdom path killer move was created from the concept of deduction. It was completely countered by the divination tortoise. Bam! The battlefield killer move was broken by Fang Yuan as the divination tortoise entered, immediately saving Wu Yubo, who was in danger. Xianxia was about to interfere, but Fang Yuan said, "Our Wu clan has lost, this battle is over, Moon Bowl is yours." After hearing this, Xianxia stopped. Immortal Yan Huang wanted to attack, but Xianxia stopped him. The former had no choice but to watch with hatred as his enemy escaped. Why did you let him go? Immortal Yan Huang roared. Xianxia looked at him coldly. We have already won Moon Bowl, our objective has been met. It is not the time for you to kill Wu Yubo yet. Don't forget that you are an external supreme elder of Xia clan, you have to think about our clan's benefits first. This time, Xia clan had won. If they pursued this matter, Wu clan would fight back with force. Xia clan did not want to be Wu clan's target and lose in the end, allowing the other forces to benefit. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1304, Happily Getting Immortal Gu. Chapter 1304, Happily Getting Immortal Gu. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. The Wu clan rank 7 Gu immortal, Wu Yubo, lost to immortal Yan Huang. This matter was intentionally spread by Xia clan. Soon, the whole of southern borders Gu immortal world knew about it. Everyone was moved. Wu Yubo is a rank 7 expert, a famous battle strength of Wu clan. He lost to immortal Yan Huang. Immortal Yan Huang is not weak. Now that he has Xia clan's help, it is not that hard to defeat Wu Yubo. Wu Yubo is arrogant and prideful. It is quite shocking that he lost to a person he defeated before. The important thing is that immortal Yan Huang broke through Wu Yubo's signature killer move. This is impressive. Perhaps Xia clan's Xia Lu Pei helped him to deduce it. Xia clan had a wisdom path Gu immortal who was famous for being a deduction expert in southern borders Gu immortal world. It was Xia Lu Pei. This time, Wu clan lost face. Not only did Wu Yubo lose to immortal Yan Huang, he even nearly lost his life. If not for Wu Yihai, who broke through the battlefield killer move, Wu Yubo would not have survived. Seriously? Yes, all sorts of Gu worms have been passed around. They record the scene of that battle. Wu clan actually lost Moon Bowl. This is a huge joke. Well, if we trace the origin, Wu clan had snatched Moon Bowl previously. This is what Wu clan deserves. Now that Wu Duxiu is dead, Wu clan cannot keep its title of number 1. Losing Moon Bowl was not a problem for Wu clan, which had vast territory and wealth. But Fang Yuan had intervened to destroy the battlefield killer move and save Wu Yubo. This made Wu clan fall into a passive spot. This was the difference between righteous path and demonic path. Fang Yuan had saved Wu Yubo. This was against the rules of the fight. Wu clan had lost face as a result. And the problem was, there was hard evidence regarding this. They could not deny it. Xia clan's wisdom path Gu immortal Xianxia was the one guarding immortal Yan Huang. He was a meticulous person and had used information path immortal Gu to record the scene. They were targeting Wu clan. They naturally came prepared. Wu clan had to admit their fault. After Fang Yuan returned with Wu Yubo, Wu Yong gave orders to punish Fang Yuan. Because he had gone against the rules of the fight, he was punished to be secluded and had to compensate some immortal essence stones. Fang Yuan had saved Wu Yubo, this was a merit. But for Wu clan, they had lost face, even though they saved a rank 7 Gu immortal, and it was much more important to them than face. Fang Yuan had merit, but Wu Yong punished him. But he had no grudges, he accepted his punishment and returned to Wu clan's headquarters, staying in his mountain and not leaving. The incident of Moon Bowl was still escalating, the impact was increasing. Wu Yubo was a prideful person. After losing to immortal Yan Huang, he felt incredibly ashamed. He declared that he was going into secluded cultivation. After returning, he would claim victory in the future. Even though Wu clan lost Moon Bowl Valley and Wu Yong punished Fang Yuan, who broke the rules, Wu clan's reputation had unavoidably declined. And most importantly, Xia clan's actions were an inspiration to the other super forces. Righteous path and demonic path were different. The righteous path had its own rules. Xia clan used these rules. Even though Wu clan lost Moon Bowl, they did not object. Xia clan was special in southern border, and even among the 5 regions. Because this super force mainly cultivated light path and wisdom path. Even though wisdom path Gu immortals were rare, Xia clan had 5 wisdom path Gu immortals, and some of them were strong experts. Among the wisdom path Gu immortals of southern border, Xia clan was the domineering force, having a huge proportion of them. It was not strange that Wu clan was plotted against by Xia clan. The other forces saw Xia clan's success and were all moved, wanting to imitate them. When Wu Du Xiu was alive, Wu clan was domineering, taking over resource points from others, expanding their territory. Incidents like Moon Bowl were numerous. They had many enemies like immortal Yan Huang. This was what other forces could use to deal with Wu clan. All sorts of intelligence was arriving. Wu Yong had an ominous sensation. He felt like a storm was brewing towards Wu clan. As expected, after Moon Bowl, Luo clan approached Wu clan with similar reasons as Xia clan. Next, Qi clan and Chai clan also attempted to get a share of Wu clan's inspiration Cocoon Cave and Spring Sun Mountain Range. Wu Yong oversaw the situation from the base, deploying people outside, but Wu clan's territory was too big, they lacked manpower, they could only maintain the situation at best. Wu clan was in trouble. Wu Yong had a huge headache, but his brother, Wu Yi Hai, was living a comfortable life. Inside the sovereign immortal aperture. Let me go, please let me go. Ah! Ma Hongyun's soul screamed in pain. But Fang Yuan ignored him, continuing to soul search him. Ma Hongyun's soul could not endure such torture, he quickly became very weak. Guts Gu. Fang Yuan used 1 Gu worm to replenish Ma Hongyun's soul, before continuing his soul search. You evil fiend! Kill me, kill me! The intense pain in his soul made Ma Hongyun unable to endure it. He continued to curse, scold, cry, and beg, but Fang Yuan was unmoved. A moment later, he stopped. Ma Hongyun's soul was very diffuse, like mist that was about to vanish. But next, Fang Yuan smashed 1 Guts Gu and Ma Hongyun's soul healed. I have finally excavated all of the luck path true inheritance that Ma Hongyun had. But Zhao Lianyun is not dead yet, I can still continue to keep Ma Hongyun's soul, it has value. He. Fang Yuan had killed Ma Hongyun by accident in Reverse Flow River and obtained his soul. These last days, he had been soul searching. After confirming that he had fully excavated everything, Ma Hongyun had no secrets in front of him anymore. Fang Yuan thus obtained a portion of the all living beings' luck true inheritance. Self-luck, all living beings' luck, heaven and earth luck, these were giant sun immortal venerables' 3 true inheritances. Self-luck was in Langyip blessed land, all living beings' luck was in 88 true yang building, and heaven and earth luck was in longevity heaven. As Imperial Court blessed land was destroyed, 88 true yang building collapsed, and the all living beings' luck true inheritance was destroyed as well. However, back then, Ma Hongyun and Zhao Lianyun were protected by the all living beings' luck true inheritance, they each received a portion of it. After so many events, Fang Yuan's soul searched him and obtained this portion of the all-living being's luck true inheritance. Thankfully, old ancestor Shui who wanted to use Ma Hongyun to refine fortune rivaling heaven and needed a healthy Ma Hongyun, thus he did not do anything to his soul. When Ma Hongyun left imperial court blessed land, he was captured by shadow sect's Qin Bai Sheng. Since he learned about the all-living being's luck true inheritance, shadow sect also knows. Fang Yuan analyzed, in this portion of the true inheritance, the greatest value was fortune rivaling heaven immortal Gu's recipe. Ma Hongyun remembered the details. This was the core essence of the all-living being's luck true inheritance. It was not strange. It was because Ma Hongyun knew of this immortal Gu recipe that old ancestor Shui who learned of it after buying him, resulting in him having the intention to refine fortune rivaling heaven immortal Gu. Fortune rivaling heaven immortal Gu. Fang Yuan smiled bitterly. According to this immortal Gu recipe, even if he used up all of his wealth, he could not complete 10% of the recipe's needs. Unless he had a living Gu material like Ma Hongyun, he could save a lot of precious refinement materials. Fang Yuan could barely give it a go. But how would Fang Yuan dare to refine fortune rivaling heaven immortal Gu? This was a rank 8 immortal Gu. Brazenly trying to refine a rank 8 immortal Gu, what would happen? Old ancestor Shui whose outcome was an example. This was the number 1 Gu immortal with the highest battle strength in Northern Plains, but he was not doing well now. Not only did his refinement of fortune rivaling heaven fail, he lost reverse flow river and snowy mountain blessed land, even his beloved wife Lady Wanshou was injured. Even though I have a lot of assets now, and the Sovereign Immortal Apertures Foundation can rival rank 8 Gu immortals, my Immortal Essence Stone and Red Date Immortal Essence storage is low, and most importantly, I have few resources that are high in value. This time, Fang Yuan chased after Ing Wu Xie, from southern border to eastern sea to northern plains, it consumed a lot of immortal essence. And inside Reverse Flow River, he created an immortal killer move. Reverse Flow Protection Seal was the most costly immortal killer move that he had. The Sovereign Immortal Apertures production was incredible, but because I reduced the rate of time to stall calamities and tribulations, the efficiency fell drastically. Even though I am still earning profits, my expenditure is huge too. Especially the feeding of Immortal Gu, Wisdom Sword Immortal Gu and Attitude Gu have not had their feeding settled yet, I still need more funds for them. Fang Yuan wanted to solve the problem of food, he also needed to store immortal essence for emergencies, his current situation was quite awkward. A while ago, he had to pay immortal essence stones for saving Wu Yu Bo against the rules, it added to his problems. Slowing the rate of time causes my immortal aperture to produce more slowly. This way, I can only expand production to emphasize on quantity instead. But what resources do I expand production of? This is an important consideration. Some resources are already oversupplied in the market, if I expand production, it would only harm me. While Fang Yuan was thinking about this, Wu Yu Bo's will brought an immortal Gu and flew towards Fang Yuan's mountain. Thank you for saving my life. Lord Wu Yi Hai, this rank 6 Vajra thought immortal Gu will be my expression of gratitude. Wu Yu Bo's will actually gave Fang Yuan an immortal Gu. Vajra thought immortal Gu. Evidently, this was a wisdom path immortal Gu. Fang Yuan had benefited from this Moon Bowl incident, he gained an immortal Gu. Even though it was rank 6, immortal Gu were unique, they were priceless. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1305, Vajra Thought. Chapter 1305, Vajra Thought. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. This Vajra Thought immortal Gu was fist-sized, it looked like a translucent glass, shining with golden lights, it looked very appealing. Fang Yuan held it in his hands, it was heavy, as if he was holding a piece of gold. The process of changing owners was very fast. When Fang Yuan refined this Vajra Thought immortal Gu successfully, Wu Yu Bo's will said goodbye and flew away. Obtaining a rank 6 immortal Gu like this, Fang Yuan was not surprised. Because he had merit. Fang Yuan saved Wu Yubo, it was a huge merit in Wu clan. Even though he broke the rules and Wu clan lost face, they preserved a precious rank 7 battle strength. Evidently, his merit surpassed the problems he caused. Even though Wu Yong punished Fang Yuan understood why. This was the righteous path, they had to do it on the surface. Wu clan had to reward Fang Yuan, but Wu Yong could not do it himself. Once he did, the political implications would be different. If it were found out, others would use it to attack his reputation. Thus, Wu Yubo's will had to do it. This Vajra thought immortal Gu was supposedly Wu Yubo's personal gift to Fang Yuan, but it was actually Wu clan paying for it. There had to be this middleman, it was the righteous path's way. Another immortal Gu. Fang Yuan smiled bitterly. Ordinary Gu immortals might be happy, but to Fang Yuan, the implications were different. He had too many immortal Gu. The burden was huge. But Vajra thought immortal Gu is a wisdom path immortal Gu, I can use it to make up for some of my weaknesses. Fang Yuan did not lack wisdom path attainment level, he lacked wisdom path immortal Gu. In the past, he only had attitude Gu and unravel mystery Gu, but now he had affection Gu and Vajra thought Gu. For wisdom path immortal Gu, this was enough. With Fang Yuan's wisdom path grandmaster attainment level, he could use them well. Fang Yuan instilled red date immortal essence, attempting to activate this Vajra thought immortal Gu. Immediately, golden thoughts appeared in his mind. These thoughts were small and exquisite, they shined with a metallic luster, giving off a tough feeling. When the thoughts collided, they created clanking sounds. Fang Yuan tried to use these newly produced Vajra thoughts to deduce. But he found that these Vajra thoughts were not good at thinking. The thoughts were hard to fuse, they often broke apart. Fang Yuan thought, as expected, he was not surprised. Vajra thought immortal Gu itself was not good for thinking, it excelled in fighting. Fang Yuan mobilized these Vajra thoughts in his mind, these thoughts were small and exquisite, when they left his mind, they expanded in the outside world, becoming fist-sized golden balls, there was bright light shining on their crystal-like surface. Fang Yuan sat on a cushion, hundreds of Vajra thoughts were floating around him, at once, golden light shined and gave him an extraordinary air. At his will, a Vajra thought flew out. Swoosh! It was very fast. Thoughts moved rapidly to begin with, thoughts moved faster than light in one's mind. When the Vajra thought was in the outside world, it was not as fast as in the mind, but it was still rapid. This speed is half of sword escape immortal Gu. Fang Yuan's eyes twitched, he was satisfied with this speed. Sword escape was a rank 7 immortal Gu, and one with great speed. Vajra thought immortal Gu was only rank 6, but the Vajra thoughts could have half of sword escape speed. Of course, for immortal Gu like Vajra thought, even if it was raised to rank 7 or 8, the quality of the Vajra thoughts produced would not change, only the quantity would vary. In theory, mortal Vajra thought Gu could produce Vajra thoughts no different from those produced by the immortal Gu. The difference was the quantity. Rank 5 mortal Vajra thought Gu could produce 100 Vajra thoughts at once. But Vajra thought immortal Gu could produce thousands or even tens of thousands of Vajra thoughts at once. Then what was the power of one Vajra thought? Fang Yuan aimed at a tile on the ground and shot out the Vajra thought. Bam! The Vajra thought created a trail of golden light as it crashed into the tile, drilling deep underground. Fang Yuan nodded. The power was decent. This place was a mortal Gu house, the defensive power was too weak for Gu immortals, but it was not useless. The power of the Vajra thought made Fang Yuan think of bullets from Earth. But it was much larger than bullets. One use of Vajra thought immortal Gu can create thousands of Vajra thoughts, if they are all shot out together, it is quite a sight. Wait a second. A flash of inspiration appeared in Fang Yuan's mind. He thought of 2 Gu immortals, one was Dong Fang Chang Fan, the other was Yi Lui Kun Xing. The former had an immortal killer move called Myriad Star Fireflies. The latter also had an immortal killer move. It used star fragments as the core. The longer he fought, the stronger he became. I have Vajra thought Immortal Gu, why don't I imitate Myriad Star Fireflies and create an immortal killer move? Fang Yuan considered it. Intuition from his wisdom path grandmaster attainment told him that this would not be tough. Thus, Fang Yuan stopped activating Vajra thought Immortal Gu. He pondered and began to deduce the immortal killer move. He was imitating Myriad Star Fireflies, using Vajra thought Immortal Gu as the core. The process was smooth, there was little difficulty, it all went according to Fang Yuan's intuition. An hour later, this immortal killer move was half complete. A day and a night later, Fang Yuan turned into a divination tortoise to deduce it without rest, finally obtaining the complete immortal killer move. Fang Yuan did not name this immortal killer move, because he had a new inspiration. Just this immortal killer move with rank 6 Vajra thought Immortal Gu as the core is not powerful enough. Maybe I can use divination tortoise transformation to modify this immortal killer move and raise its strength. This modification would not be easy. Even though he had Grandmaster Wisdom Path and Transformation Path attainment level, combining the two paths would not be an easy task. The modification took a long time. But Fang Yuan was not anxious. The outside situation was quite calm now. Even though Shadow Sect was around, and Heavenly Court and Longevity Heaven were pursuing him, as long as he used the Dream Realm, Fang Yuan's foundation would continue to grow rapidly. Undeniably, with Reverse Flow Protection Seal, his confidence had risen greatly. 3 days later, the modification of the killer move was not done, he was only at 30%, but Wu Yong had summoned Wu Yi Hai. In the hall, the two brothers talked. Wu Yong told Fang Yuan, if he was not happy with Vajra thought Immortal Gu, he could choose a rank 6 Immortal Gu from the clan's treasury and exchange it. The reason was, after Fang Yuan accepted Vajra thought Immortal Gu, he did not make a move. Wu Yong thought that Fang Yuan was a lone immortal and did not know how the righteous path worked. He might have really assumed that it was a gift from Wu Yubo. This would not do. Wu Yong summoned Fang Yuan and hinted to him that this Vajra thought Immortal Gu was all because of this elder brother's efforts. And using the excuse of exchanging Gu, he expressed goodwill to Fang Yuan. He did not know that Fang Yuan understood the entire situation, he was just pretending to be unaware. It seems that Wu clan is in trouble now, because they lack Gu immortals. Wu Yong wants to make use of me. Fang Yuan immediately understood Wu Yong's intention. Fang Yuan did not want to interfere in Wu clan's matters. But recently, many super forces were cooperating to emit pressure on Wu clan subtly. There were many problems, Wu Yong was busy dealing with all of them. And over at the giant dream realm, Ba clan was leading the Gu immortals in giving trouble to Wu clan. Originally, Wu Yong wanted to send Fang Yuan there, but Ba clan was creating problems, the pressure at the Super Gu formation was increasing. To play safe, Wu Yong did not want to change people now, thus, Fang Yuan's plan of going to the Super Gu formation was stalled. Thank you for the concern, brother, I would like to take a look at the inner treasury as well. Fang Yuan had created an immortal killer move using Vajra thought Immortal Gu, but he still wanted to look at the Immortal Gu inside the inner treasury. Last time, he had chosen Immortal Gu from the outer treasury, the Immortal Gu inside the inner treasury were much better and had greater value. As the number one force of southern border, Fang Yuan was excited about what was inside Wu clan's inner treasury. There were few Immortal Gu in the inner treasury, but they were all the best of the best. But Fang Yuan had too many Immortal Gu now, he mainly wanted to probe Wu clan's foundation and gain more information about them. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1306, Immortal Gu Reputation Restriction. Chapter 1306, Immortal Gu Reputation Restriction. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Among them was an Immortal Gu called Reputation Restriction. It was a rare information path rank 7 Immortal Gu. Fang Yuan was very interested. After all, he was too weak in terms of information path, it was greatly restricting his development. Reputation restriction Immortal Gu had an incredible effect. After it was used, it would turn into a rope to restrict any desolate beast or desolate plant, and even ancient desolate beasts or ancient desolate plants. Indeed, even though it was an information path Immortal Gu, it had an enslavement path effect. It was very special and unique. What moved Fang Yuan was, this reputation restriction Immortal Gu's effect varied according to its owner's reputation. This suited Fang Yuan very well. Be it Fang Yuan himself or Lu Guanyi, they were characters who shook all 5 regions, they were widely known. In recent times, who had the most prominent reputation? It was none other than Fang Yuan. But my information path attainment level is ordinary, even if I get this reputation restriction Immortal Gu, what use is it? Enslaving ancient desolate beasts and desolate plants is not useful to me. Only if I can enslave an immemorial desolate beast. And just this rank 7 Immortal Gu reputation restriction will be impossible to enslave immemorial desolate beasts with. The only possibility is to use it as a core to create an immortal killer move. But that will take forever. My information path and enslavement path attainment levels are not at Grandmaster. Regarding immemorial desolate beasts or plants, Grandmaster attainment level is already very limited. Fang Yuan thought about it, he did not exchange it, he kept Vajra thought Immortal Gu. This choice surprised Wu Yong a little. I made some gains in Eastern Sea, from now on, the divination tortoise transformation that uses wisdom path will be my main cultivation. Fang Yuan explained. This was in preparation for him using divination tortoise transformation in the future. Wu Yong nodded, I called you here for an additional matter. Fang Yuan was calm, please tell me. Wu Yong smiled bitterly, the frosty peak that my clan controls is targeted by Xia clan. There are some historical reasons, they are all recorded in this information path Mortal Gu. Brother, I hope you can help defend Frosty Peak for our clan. I am willing to solve your problem, brother. Fang Yuan agreed before accepting the information path Mortal Gu, inspecting it. Fang Yuan's attitude made Wu Yong very pleased. Fang Yuan looked at the information in the Gu worm, he understood this matter. As it turned out, after Immortal Yan Huang defeated Wu Yubo, Xia clan obtained Moon Bowl, becoming the greatest beneficiary. Thereafter, other super forces went to trouble Wu clan. After Xia clan gained this profit, they decided to continue plotting against Wu clan, to obtain greater gains for the clan. This time, they targeted Frosty Peak. Frosty Peak was not Wu clan's resource point originally, it belonged to a lone cultivator Gu Immortal. Very long ago, this lone immortal sought help from Wu clan, and Wu clan wanted his territory, but the lone immortal did not want to give it away. After a long and arduous negotiation, the lone immortal lent this place to Wu clan for several hundred years. More than 100 years later, this lone immortal died from tribulation, this Frosty Peak officially became Wu clan's property, it had great production output each year. Xia clan was able to request for it because they found a descendant of this lone immortal. The lone immortal's descendant wanted Wu clan to return Frosty Peak, this was very reasonable, there was undeniable evidence. With Xia clan's backing, they created a lot of commotion, attempting to take back Frosty Peak by creating a ruckus. The lone immortal's descendant is a Mortal Gu master, they actually dare to challenge Wu clan. Xia clan has many wisdom path Gu immortals, they are good at plotting. But this time, I must defend Frosty Peak. This is the best chance for me to display my strength. Wu Yong does not want me to go to the Super Gu formation, he is afraid I cannot suppress the situation if I have inferior strength. Fang Yuan received the mission, but he did not set off urgently. He knew, even though he was strong, his methods could not be exposed. Divination tortoise transformation was good at defense but lacked offense, thankfully, he had Vajra thought Immortal Gu, but he had to deduce that new immortal killer move first. Thus, for more than 10 days afterwards, Fang Yuan stayed inside his house, trying to deduce and modify the immortal killer move. This was not a peaceful time. Xia clan saw that Wu clan did not move and repeatedly urged them, spreading the news everywhere. Wu clan faced great pressure. Wu Yong also came to urge Fang Yuan, but he stalled for time. No rush. If we do not show up, Xia clan cannot take over Frosty Peak by force. Xia clan is causing a commotion. It is no problem, let them make a scene, we will remain unmoved. Be steady. When I was a secluded cultivator in Eastern Sea, I learned that this was the meaning of life. Be slower, the slower we work, the better the results. Fang Yuan gave a lot of reasons, he had a reply to everything. In the end, even Wu Yong became anxious. Wu Yi-hai did not face much pressure, but as the head of Wu clan, his pressure was getting heavier by the day. The clan's affairs are my affairs. Since this is entrusted to me, I will definitely succeed. I will not let you down, brother, I will meet your expectations. Fang Yuan still willfully did things his way. Wu Yong had no choice, he had no more Gu immortals to send. Only when Fang Yuan deduced the immortal killer move and experimented with it successfully did he start to leave, heading towards Frosty Peak. Wu Yong let out a sigh of relief. Xia clan had been focusing on Wu clan all along. The moment Fang Yuan moved, they received news of it. On Frosty Peak, Wu clan sent Wu Yi-hai this time. Rank 6 Wisdom Path Gu Immortal Xianxia Mo spoke. This Frosty Peak is on par with Moon Bowl. Wu clan did not send Wu Yu Bo or Wu Jin here. This is a terrible move. Rank 7 Gu Immortal Xia Fei Kuai could not believe it. Xianxia Mo thought about it. Wu clan has nobody to send anymore. Wu Yu Bo is a prideful person. After losing to Immortal Yan Huang, unless he can kill Immortal Yan Huang and regain his reputation, he would not come out of seclusion. As for Wu Zhen, he is busy defending Phoenix Peak. How can he leave? During this period, all the different phoenix birds are going there to produce their eggs. Ha ha ha. Wu Yong has no choice, he sent Wu Yi-hai after having no other alternatives. How is this person's battle strength? Xia Fei Kuai asked. Xianxia Mo thought about it. His battle strength is unclear. He used to be a secluded cultivator in Eastern Sea, there is little information on him. But he could escape threats and return to Wu clan, he can defend himself. Recently, he saved Wu Yu Bo and used a divination tortoise transformation. Due to a coincidence, he managed to counter Lord Xia Qingzang's scattering mind. Saying this, he smiled bitterly. The divination tortoise has naturally defense against wisdom path methods. Against him, I may not be of use. It will depend on you. Xianxia Mo was a rank 6 wisdom path Gu immortal, while Xia Fei Kuai was a rank 7 light path Gu immortal. The latter laughed. I see that this Wu Yi-hai is stalling for so much time, he has no confidence. Don't worry, I will go ahead and suppress this person. After we take down Frosty Peak, our Xia clan's territory will expand. This will be a huge merit. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1307, 4 Seasons Tea. Chapter 1307, 4 Seasons Tea. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. The sky was dark, it was drizzling. Fang Yuan flew to the sky, mist surrounding him. I'm here. At his will, he descended as the mist in his vision vanished, showing the land. Southern border had many mountains. Fang Yuan was above many mountains, it was a scene of greenery. In this sea of greenery, Frosty Peak was unique, it was completely white and different in height, standing out from the rest. At the apex of Frosty Peak, there was a mortal Gu house. At the entrance of the Gu house, Xia clan's 2 Gu immortals, Xianxia Mo and Xia Fei Kuai, had already sensed Fang Yuan's arrival. Fang Yuan was here to negotiate, he did not purposely conceal his presence. It was normal for the 2 Xia clan Gu immortals to notice him at once. He is finally here. This Wu Yi-hai is really amazing, he took half a month to travel on a 3-day route. Xia Fei Kuai frowned deeply. Forget it, he's here, let's go. Xianxia Mo smiled. The two sides met in the sky. Both sides were smiling, they had a grand demeanor, after all, they were representing two super forces. The two Xia Clan Gu immortals assessed Wu Yi, thinking, he looks really similar to Wu Duxiu. Fang Yuan was also assessing these two Gu immortals. Xia Fei Kuai was rank 7, he was the person in charge of this negotiation. According to Wu Clan's information, Xia Fei Kuai was a rash and resolute person, he had great battle strength. Meanwhile, Xia Zhuemo was a wisdom path Gu immortal who considered many aspects and liked to think deeply. Xia Zhuemo's personality had to do with his childhood experiences. Whenever he encountered an important situation, he would think about the possibilities over and over. Meanwhile, Xia Fei Kuai's personality was the backlash of a certain immortal killer move that he had tried to use. This was the first time both sides were meeting. Xia Clan's Gu immortals led Fang Yuan to the apex of Frosty Peak. Please enter for some tea. The two Gu immortals acted like the hosts of the place, as if they were declaring their ownership. The contest had already begun, but Fang Yuan was unmoved, as if he did not sense it. He smiled as he sat down, drinking. The tea is not bad. After one sip, he praised. Xia Zhuemo smiled, this is our Xia Clan's 4 seasons tea, our first supreme elder had created it personally. With one sip, you will taste 4 different flavors, making people feel the 4 seasons of spring, autumn, summer, and winter. Therefore, it is called 4 seasons tea. Xia Clan first supreme elder was a time path great expert, the 4 seasons tea that she created showed her incredible attainment in time path. Xia Clan's Gu immortals used this tea to assert dominance, but after Fang Yuan drank it, his smile intensified. This is a great tea, I wonder if you have any extra. I would like to ask for a few more portions, may I have them? Fang Yuan smiled as he squinted. The two Xia Clan Gu immortals looked at each other. Xia Zhuemo thought, this Wu Yi is really greedy. However, even if they were enemies, their righteous path demeanor was important. Furthermore, politics was always changing. Right now, everyone was opposing Wu Clan, but maybe they would soon have to cooperate with Wu Clan. Xia Zhuemo decided and was about to speak, when Xia Fei Kuai said, whatever. This is nothing much, we have a lot of 4 seasons tea, if you want them, you can have them. Saying this, he gave out over 10 portions of 4 seasons tea. Then I will accept it. Fang Yuan laughed heartily, receiving the tea leaves. Xia Fei Kuai quickly added, let's talk about Frosty Peak. Fang Yuan raised his cup and sipped slowly, before putting it down as he said, please tell me. Xia Fei Kuai quickly spoke, his mouth opened and closed rapidly, this matter takes very long to explain. Since we all know the origin, let's cut to the chase, little Zhang, come out. As he said that, a rank 5 Gu master walked out of a door inside the Gu house. This descendant of Zhang Sanfeng, Zhang Kai Zui, greets the 3 immortals. This Gu master was old and had white hair, he greeted the 3 immortals without excessive reverence. This little Zhang's bloodline is absolutely correct. Come, Wu Yi, quickly test it. Xia Fei Kuai left his seat, walking to Zhang Kai Zui and pulling his arm, bringing him to Fang Yuan with an expression that seemed to be in a hurry. Zhang Sanfeng was that lone cultivator Gu immortal who was the owner of Frosty Peak. Of course, Zhang Sanfeng was not his original name, it was sort of a title. 1. Because he owned 3 mystical peaks, Frosty Peak was one of them. His real name was unknown, ever since he appeared, he had never revealed his true name, only mentioning his surname of Zhang. As a result, everyone called him Zhang Sanfeng. Even his bloodline descendants did not know his true name. Fang Yuan knew this, Wu Clan's information was quite comprehensive. But he suddenly waved his hand, acting confused, wait, who is this Gu master? Xia Fei Kuai was stunned. Zhang Kai Zui was about to speak, when Xia Fei Kuai said, he is Zhang Kai Zui, he introduced himself earlier, we all know it. I know he is named Zhang Kai Zui. Fang Yuan nodded. But he paused and drank tea, continuing, but what does this mortal Gu master have to do with Frosty Peak? It is like this, his ancestor Zhang Sanfeng had once. Xia Fei Kuai added. Wait. Fang Yuan stopped him, who is Zhang Sanfeng? Xia Fei Kuai was stunned. Wu Yi Hai, after so long, you have no idea who Zhang Sanfeng is. Fang Yuan gave an embarrassed-looking smile. The clan wants me to protect Frosty Peak, but I arrived in a hurry. I have no idea what the cause of all this is. Please do not mind it. Xia Fei Kuai thought, you arrived in a hurry, reaching here after half a month. That's arriving in a hurry. He thought that, but he spoke politely, then let me tell you the reason. I am listening. Xia Fei Kuai spoke rapidly. He explained the historical reason in the blink of an eye. Fang Yuan drank his tea and nodded. Xia Fei Kuai said, are you clear now? Fang Yuan placed down his cup, standing up from his seat and cupping his fists at Xia Fei Kuai. Xia Fei Kuai had no idea why Fang Yuan was cupping his fists. It was a bit out of nowhere, but they were in the righteous path. A polite demeanor was everything. No matter what, he had to cup his fists in return. Next, he saw that Fang Yuan smiled again in embarrassment. Fang Yuan said, thank you for telling me that, but it was described too quickly. I could only understand the story roughly. I did not understand a lot of it. Can you tell me again? Again. Xia Zhuemo, who was beside him, frowned. Xia Fei Kuai did not repeat it once again. He said, which part are you unsure about? I can explain that to you. His tone was unhappy. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1308, Shameless. Chapter 1308, Shameless. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Fang Yuan seemed to have not noticed. He smiled. The first line, I did not hear it clearly. Xia Fei Kuai explained it. Fang Yuan nodded, and the second line. Xia Fei Kuai frowned. Fang Yuan continued, I did not hear it clearly either. Xia Fei Kuai repeated it and said in an unhappy tone, is there anything else? The third line. Fang Yuan said. Xia Fei Kuai's eyes were about to bulge out. He said directly, pardon my words, but did you not hear the first 3 sentences? Are you toying with us? Please, you have misunderstood. Fang Yuan waved his hands. The third line. I heard it clearly. Xia Zhuomo's expression turned dark. Xia Fei Kuai's brows were lifted high, his eyes were popping, rage showed on his face. Then what do you want? Fang Yuan said, actually, the fourth line. Xia Fei Kuai waved his hand, I will say it again, listen closely and carefully. He talked about it again. This time, he said it very slowly, word by word. It was crystal clear. Fang Yuan stood up and cupped his fists at Xia Fei Kuai again. Xia Fei Kuai felt perplexed. He had a bad feeling, but he quickly cupped his fists. He spoke calmly, are you clear on it now? Clear, it's clear now. Thank you for explaining, everything makes sense now. Oh, so that is what happened. Fang Yuan patted his forehead, sitting down. Thus, your clan has to return Frosty Peak. It is the logical thing to do. Our Xia clan is upholding justice. This Zhang Kaizue is without doubt the descendant of Zhang Sanfeng. Please test it. Xia Fei Kuai requested again. But Fang Yuan only took a glance at Zhang Kaizue before smiling as he waved his hand. No rush, no rush. What is it that do you not understand now? Xia Fei Kuai's expression was grim. He asked in a dark tone. I have troubled you for the description, but was the situation really like this? I cannot confirm it. Fang Yuan said. Xia Fei Kuai was about to laugh from anger. I am speaking the truth, you can go ahead and seek verification. Haha. Fang Yuan laughed, clapping his hands together. You are a straight talker, I will seek verification from my clan. Saying this, he shut his eyes. as if his consciousness had entered his immortal aperture, to use his information path methods. After a long time, Fang Yuan did not open his eyes. Xia Fei Kuai urged him, "Wu Yi Hai, are you done?" Fang Yuan opened his eyes, he smiled in embarrassment, "Brother is too busy with his work, let's wait a while." Regarding a rank 8 Gu immortal, Xia Fei Kuai could not say anything, so Xia Zhuemo interjected, "Lord Wu Yong is busy indeed, he has no choice. But Wu Yi Hai, you may ask other Wu clan Gu immortals for verification." Fang Yuan immediately laughed, giving Xia Zhuemo a thumbs up, "Worthy of a wisdom path Gu immortal indeed, good idea." This praise made Xia Zhuemo's expression freeze. Next, Fang Yuan said, "But I am not close with any other Gu immortal. Do you have any recommendations?" "Recommend your sister." Xia Fei Kuai was listening by the side, he shouted out of anger. "My sister? I only have an elder brother, I have no sister. You must have remembered wrongly." Fang Yuan smiled while squinting. Xia Fei Kuai was speechless. He looked at Xia Zhuemo, they communicated with their gazes, they could tell that Fang Yuan was wasting time. To think that Wu clan actually sent such a person over. They are too shameless. Xia Fei Kuai was filled with anger. He wanted to negotiate properly, but Fang Yuan refused. And because they were righteous path characters, Xia Fei Kuai could not go overboard. Seeing Fang Yuan's smiling appearance, he really wanted to throw out a punch and send Fang Yuan plummeting to the ground. "Don't be anxious, don't be angry, you will fall for his trap. This person is very experienced, he is purposely angering us so we will expose a flaw." Xia Zhuemo quickly urged. Xia Fei Kuai could only breathe roughly, taking in huge breaths. Fang Yuan spoke as he looked at Xia Fei Kuai seriously, "Do I really have a sister? Please let me know." Xia Fei Kuai. He took in a few more breaths before he said, "No, it was a slip of the tongue, please do forgive me." "Oh. Is that so?" Fang Yuan nodded, saying in concern, "I see that your tongue is dry, and your chest is moving rapidly, it seems you have symptoms of getting a fever. You need to drink tea, otherwise you will get sick. In fact, this Four Seasons tea is great, you should take a few more sips." Xia Zhuemo. Xia Fei Kuai screamed, "Drink what, we are talking about important business." Fang Yuan had a solemn expression, "Friend, that is not the right attitude, what do you mean important business? Is being concerned about your health not important business? This frosty peak is just a resource point, these are just resources. You cannot fall ill just because of these resources, you will harm yourself." He urged heartfully, but it seemed to be adding fuel to the fire. Xia Fei Kuai slammed the table angrily. "Wu Yi Hai!" He screamed, "Don't think that you can deceive us like this, and keep Frosty Peak for your Wu clan." "Humph." Fang Yuan's expression quickly changed, saying sincerely, "What are you trying to say? I am innocent. We have to follow the rules for Frosty Peak's matter. This is Zhang Sanfeng's possession, if this Zhang Kai Zui is a true descendant, we will return it. On behalf of Wu clan, we will do this fair and square, we will not be corrupt, and ruin the rules of the righteous path just for some benefits. You are an understanding person." Xia Zhuemo smiled forcefully, saying with deep intentions. Xia Fei Kuai frowned, he stopped shouting, he said, "That's right, quickly test his bloodline, Zhang Kai Zui really is Zhang Sanfeng's descendant." "No rush, no rush." Fang Yuan smiled and started to drink tea. "Let me seek verification from my clan first, it is not that I do not trust you, but this is a major task, I do not dare to decide recklessly on my own." "Then quickly verify it." Xia Fei Kuai shouted. "But Brother Wu Yong has not responded." Fang Yuan looked troubled. "Then find others." Xia Fei Kuai shouted. Fang Yuan slapped his own leg, "That is right, but I just returned to the clan, I do not know anyone else. I am not sure who to find for verification. Earlier, I asked you two to help me, but you gave me no help, I am very troubled too." Once he said that, the two Xia clan Gu immortals were shocked, they looked at each other. After such a long time, giving so many excuses, it was now Xia clan's fault. The rank 5 Gu master Zhang Kai-zui listened as he stared at Fang Yuan with wide-opened eyes. This was the demeanor of a Gu immortal. He was shameless to the max. Zhang Kai-zui was awestruck, his good impression of Gu immortals had shattered completely. Forget it, I can tell now, this person is clearly stalling for time. Xia Zhuemo transmitted. Stalling for what? Xia Fei Kuai asked. Evidently, Wu clan has no justification here, they are in a passive spot. Wu Yihai has to continue wasting time here by giving all sorts of excuses. When Wu clan is no longer so tight on manpower, they will be able to deal with us, it will be difficult then. Let alone other matters, when the phoenix birds lay their eggs, Wu Zhen will be free to come here. If he comes, the situation will be different. Xia Zhuemo analyzed. You are right. What do we do? This Wu Yihai is stalling for time, but he speaks so justifiably, we have no way of finding problems with him. There are many ways to stall for time. For example, he needs time to verify this, and he also needs time to test his identity. Then what about after he tests Zhang Kai-zui's bloodline? Will he ask if Zhang Sanfeng only has one descendant? All these questions will be endless if he wants to bring them up. Xia Fei Kuai realized the severity of the problem. I have a plan. Xia Zhuemo said. What plan? Xia Fei Kuai asked quickly. Xia Zhuemo answered, as Xia Fei Kuai became overjoyed, he quickly turned to look at Fang Yuan. Wu Yihai, I have long since heard that you are extremely strong, you are the glory of Wu clan. I would like to represent Xia clan and challenge you to a spar. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1309, Spar. Chapter 1309, Spar. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Spar. That was just a nicer way of talking about resolving the problem by fighting. But this fight was different from the intense battles of the demonic path. When demonic path members fought, it was mortal combat. For righteous path Gu immortals, they had a lot of assets, why would they fight to the death? Just deciding a winner was enough. This was also why Fang Yuan purposely stalled for time, preventing the resolution of Frosty Peak's issue. This forced the two Xia clan Gu immortals to go on the offense and deal with the matter through force. The truth was, on Earth, when negotiations fail, stronger countries would send their troops over. It was the same thing. Xia Fei Kuai's words were quite interesting, he was representing Xia clan and also claimed Wu Yihai to be Wu clan's glory. He said this was a spar, but this was actually a contest between both clans. Just these words forced Fang Yuan into a corner. If he avoided battle, it would harm Wu clan's reputation, this was something that the righteous path would look down upon, he would be treated as a coward. But the two from Xia clan did not know that Fang Yuan was not Wu Yihai, he did not care about Wu clan's reputation or glory. However, he was acting as Wu Yihai now, he still wanted to go to the Super Gu formation, Fang Yuan had to accept this challenge. He thought briefly before saying, if it is a spar, both of you will be fighting against me, I am outnumbered, I will definitely lose. Xia Fei Kuai's expression changed. These were vicious words. In fact, requesting for the spar had already caused him to be in a passive spot. If he lost, it would be humiliation. If the two Xia clan Gu immortals fought together and won, they would be using numbers for an unfair advantage, it would make them lose face, they could not spread news about this. Actually, Xia Fei Kuai had not thought of fighting together with Xia Zhuemo, he said, I will fight you alone, don't worry. Fang Yuan had a reluctant expression, he said, since you want to spar so urgently, I cannot reject you. But since this is a spar, there has to be a time limit, right, we cannot fight on forever. What do you have in mind? Xia Fei Kuai asked. Spars had their rules, it was different from a life and death battle. Fang Yuan said, you attack and I defend, as long as you can break my defense within 10 moves, I lose. Xia Fei Kuai's eyelids were twitching, he said, okay. Xianxia frowned, he felt something amiss. But since Xia Fei Kuai had already agreed, they might as well spar. He had confidence in Xia Fei Kuai. Frosty Peak was not the place to fight, destroying it would ruin the point of the task. Both sides flew to a desolate valley. Fang Yuan quickly stood opposite Xia Fei Kuai. Start. Xia Fei Kuai could not wait, he wanted to teach Fang Yuan a lesson. Among southern borders rank 7 Gu immortals, he was a famous expert. In the entire Wu clan, other than the rank 8 Gu immortal Wu Yong, the strongest rank 7 Gu immortal, Wu Yubo, was only slightly superior to him. Now that Wu Yubo was in secluded cultivation, who would Xia Fei Kuai fear? One had to say, getting immortal Yan Huang to defeat Wu Yubo was indeed a well-executed move. In terms of real battle strength, immortal Yan Huang was not Wu Yubo's match, but Xia clan had managed to crack Wu Yubo's signature killer move. Wu Yubo was targeted, his immortal killer move was broken and he suffered an intense backlash, causing immortal Yan Huang to win the battle. Wait. Fang Yuan gestured with his hand. Xia Fei Kuai was ready to fight. Fang Yuan's words made him feel very uncomfortable. He called out, "Wu Yi Hai, what else do you want?" "I almost forgot, since this is a spar, we can't do it so casually, right?" Fang Yuan smiled. Xia Fei Kuai thought, how is it casual? Teaching you a lesson is this battle's most important point. He was thinking that, but he could not say it out loud. Gu immortals had all sorts of methods to record scenes. Like earlier, when immortal Yan Huang challenged Wu Yubo, Xia clan Xia Qingcang recorded everything. It was widely spread over southern borders Gu immortal world. Xia Fei Kuai held in his anger, what do you want? Simple, if I manage to win, then the status quo for Frosty Peak will remain, it will belong to us. Fang Yuan said. How can we do that? Xianxia, who was far away, was anxious. He rushed to Xia Fei Kuai and spoke loudly. Right now, Xia clan was finding trouble, having the descendant of Zhang Sanfeng, they had justification and a huge advantage. Wu clan was forced into a passive position. If they agreed to this, they would lose their advantage, it was not wise. Xia Fei Kuai curled his lips, thinking, I'm not stupid. At the same time, he rejected, no way. In that case, I cannot fight. This spar is voided. Fang Yuan waved his hand, turning around and walking away. Xia Fei Kuai almost wanted to curse at him upon seeing this. We left Frosty Peak and came all this way, after so much trouble, and selecting a proper valley to spar. And now, you want to cancel the fight? Are you toying with us? His expression turned grim. Wu Yi Hai, leaving without fighting, is this the courage and glory of Wu clan? Fang Yuan stopped moving. Xia Fei Kuai smiled coldly. Fang Yuan turned around, looking at Xia Fei Kuai with a serious expression, saying shamelessly, you are wrong. I am not avoiding the spar, but you two are not agreeing to my request. Since our negotiation failed, it does not mean I am running away. Look, I even chose the location for it. What the f***ck? These words made Xianxia, who was watching by the side, feel anger. Xia Fei Kuai stared with furious eyes, he was fuming. He stared at Fang Yuan fixedly. How could Wu clan produce such a shameless person? Weren't Wu clan Gu immortals brash and usually eager to fight to resolve problems? Where was the bravery and spirit of Wu clan? Where was it? But soon, Xia Fei Kuai thought of Fang Yuan's origin. Indeed, Wu Yi Hai was not a Wu clan Gu immortal from birth, he was a secluded cultivator in Eastern Sea. This damned secluded cultivator. Fang Yuan showed a deeper smile, since we cannot spar, let's continue talking and drinking tea. I have to say, your Four Seasons tea is really delicious, I am looking forward to it as we speak. Drink tea. Talk about what? Xia Fei Kuai felt an intense urge to strangle Fang Yuan to death in his mind, his chest was burning with rage. Xianxia looked at Xia Fei Kuai bitterly, thinking, weren't you the one who gave him a lot of tea leaves earlier? Fang Yuan suddenly muttered to himself before saying, how about this, if I win, for the next 5 years, we will maintain the status quo, you will not harp on the Frosty Peak issue, how about that? This. Xianxia started to ponder over it. Fang Yuan suddenly raised this condition. Compared to before, it was much more acceptable. But Wu Yihai likely has a plan for giving us this condition. Xianxia was still thinking. Xia Fei Kuai spoke, okay, I agree. Xianxia was stunned, transmitting, Lord Xia Fei Kuai, you. Are we going to let this bastard continue wasting time? I will bear full responsibility for this, it has nothing to do with you. I cannot waste so much time, the less time I spend with this guy, the better. Xia Fei Kuai replied resolutely, he had a firm attitude. Xianxia smiled bitterly. If this battle is lost, even if you, Xia Fei Kuai, take responsibility, can I run away from it? The clan sent me here to help you, it was to give you advice, right? Sigh. He sighed deeply in his mind, transmitting helplessly, then I will hope for Lord to emerge victorious. Are you too sure? Fang Yuan asked. His condition was just delaying the problem for Wu clan, it did not solve it. But after 5 years, Fang Yuan would be done with his matters, by then, who cares about Wu clan? We are sure. This time, Xia Fei Kuai did not speak, Xianxia did. Okay. Fang Yuan slowly flew back, speaking in an obnoxious way, actually, I did not want to spar, it hurts our relationship either way. But Lord Xia Fei Kuai is so insistent, on behalf of the 4 seasons tea leaves that you gave me, I will agree to this. Stop mentioning that tea and fight. Xia Fei Kuai bellowed, his eyes were bloodshot. Before he finished his words, Fang Yuan's body shined and turned into a divination tortoise. Xia Fei Kuai was stunned, Fang Yuan was wasting so much time earlier, but he transformed so quickly now, it was quite a contrast. Divination tortoise again. Xianxia frowned. The divination tortoise's huge body stood in the valley with its 4 pillar-like legs, it filled up this entire valley. The entire divination tortoise was dark in color, the shell had all sorts of markings, thousands or tens of thousands of them, they were very eye-catching. Xianxia looked at them for a while before feeling dizzy, he quickly stopped. Xia Fei Kuai did not expect Fang Yuan to use an immortal killer move now. Normally, when Gu immortals spar, they would probe first. Fang Yuan skipped it and used his trump card immediately. The tough shell shows this divination tortoise's defensive power. No wonder he chose this style of sparring. Thinking of this, Xianxia frowned even more deeply. What do I do? Xia Fei Kuai hesitated, he did not know what Wu Yihai specialized in, but Fang Yuan knew what he was good at. Xia Fei Kuai only hesitated for a moment, before attacking. First move. He raised his fist and clenched it, floating in the sky, he aimed at the divination tortoise in the valley and punched. His fist shot out light, it was dazzling. Pure white light gathered in Xia Fei Kuai's fist as it turned into a large ball of light, crashing down. Auras of Immortal Gu and Mortal Gu mixed together. This was an immortal killer move, Soaring Essence Strike. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know to report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1310, So Embarrassing. Chapter 1310, So Embarrassing. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. Since Fang Yuan had used an immortal killer move, Xia Fei Kuai had no choice but to use an immortal killer move as well. A pure white ball of light moved with an average speed, not showing any signs of light path speed advantage. But as it flew in the air, it pushed the air aside, emitting a buzzing noise. Boom! The wine vat-sized ball of light smashed down like the weight of a mountain on the divination tortoise's back, smashing the tortoise into the ground. The enormous divination tortoise had sunken by over a foot in the ground. Xia Fei Kuai's move was indeed powerful. Light Path was famous for speed, but this soaring essence strike of Xia Fei Kuai was the complete opposite, it was like a heavy fist, and the enemies would often be caught off guard by its powerful strength. However, Fang Yuan's divination tortoise was perfectly unharmed. Ha! Xia Fei Kuai's eyes almost popped out when he saw the result of his attack. The divination tortoise was intact with not even a slight dent on it. This was the obvious result. Xia Fei Kuai's move used light path to imitate strength path. It was considered a unique move. Meanwhile, Fang Yuan's divination tortoise transformation was a rank 7 immortal killer move, which used change form immortal Gu and divination tortoise shell immortal Gu as the cores. Especially the latter, just by activating it, Fang Yuan could obtain a tortoise shell that was not weaker than an ancient divination tortoise. And now, it was an immortal killer move possessing many supplementary Gu worms. The tortoise shell's defensive capability was stronger than a real ancient divination tortoise. Ancient desolate beasts had extremely strong and sturdy bodies with vigorous vitality, and tortoises were one of the toughest life forms among all living beings. It was not strange for Xia Fei Kuai's soaring essence strike to show no effect. But to the person involved, this was slightly ridiculous. Soaring essence strike had no effect, he has such a hard shell. Xia Zhuemo was shocked. Xia Fei Kuai stopped, he started to develop an unfamiliar feeling, that was a headache. Looking at such a sturdy tortoise shell, he felt a headache and did not know where to start. In fact, if he had attacked any other area, the result would not have been this bad, but he had to go and choose the hardest part, the tortoise shell. Naturally, this was also because he wanted to probe the depths of Fang Yuan's strength. What should I do? Xia Fei Kuai began to think rapidly. Although he was irascible, he managed to quickly become cool-headed in the fight. But at this moment, Fang Yuan activated a second immortal killer move. Auras of immortal Gu and mortal Gu rose. Fang Yuan opened his mouth and breathed out countless small tortoise shells. The small tortoise shells had the same appearance as the divination tortoise's shell, except that they were many times smaller. The large numbers of small tortoise shells floated in the air, rotating at a very fast speed. What are these things? Xia Fei Kuai stopped thinking and cautiously pulled apart some distance from Fang Yuan. Boom! He punched forward with soaring essence strike again. But this time, the wine vat-sized heavy light sphere did not even manage to touch the divination tortoise. Those small fist-sized tortoise shells seemed to be attracted like bees attracted to honey, as they looped towards the soaring essence strike. Bam bam bam! The seemingly hard tortoise shells shattered into hundreds of pieces in the collisions. But the soaring essence strike also was completely consumed, finally turning into a dim fragment of light that helplessly dissipated in the air. Immortal killer move, Vajra shell. This was the immortal killer move Fang Yuan had been perfecting earlier, combined with his divination tortoise transformation. This was the first time it had been displayed in southern border and even in the 5 regions. The core of this immortal killer move was the rank 6 immortal Gu Vajra thought. But it was combined with rank 7 perseverance immortal Gu as well as large numbers of mortal Gu. Its might had naturally increased by a lot, it had not been a waste of Fang Yuan's time and energy. Ah! These tortoise shells are actually thoughts. Xia Zhuomo's eyes emitted sharp light as he saw through the mystery. He was a wisdom path Gu immortal and was very sensitive to all kinds of thoughts. This was the area he was proficient in. As for Xia Fei Kuai, he cultivated light path, not wisdom path, even though he was rank 7, he only realized after Xia Zhuomo's notification. Xia Zhuomo, you are knowledgeable, the two of you are a good match. The divination tortoise spoke human language, its tone filled with sarcasm. In fact, Fang Yuan had not intended to conceal it, it was just that after combining with divination tortoise transformation, these golden thoughts turned into dark tortoise shells. Little Mo, be quiet, I will break his shell. Xia Fei Kuai said. Xia Zhuomo grunted, but did not speak anymore. Being ridiculed by Fang Yuan had made his expression unsightly. Xia Fei Kuai closed his eyes. He began to prepare. All sorts of Gu worms auras started brimming and linking up, before quickly spreading. Red Date Immortal Essence was being consumed rapidly. At the same time, he spread his arms and slowly put his hands together above his head. Light surged up like a fountain from him, gathering between his palms. He was still accumulating energy. The radiance was restrained, but a powerful aura started rising up, becoming more and more dangerous. Fang Yuan lowered his tortoise head and firmly rooted his limbs to the ground like a silent dark mountain. But at the same time, the small tortoise shells around him were continuing to fly, their numbers increasing extremely rapidly. There were close to 10,000 at first, but the numbers soon surpassed 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. Their proliferation was extremely fast. Rank 6 Vajra thought Immortal Gu could create 10,000 Vajra thoughts alone. As an immortal killer move now, its effect had increased by another level. The most crucial point was that Fang Yuan's body was filled with wisdom path Dao marks right now. Actually, Fang Yuan did not have many wisdom path Dao marks, but he had transformation path Dao marks and there were quite a lot of them. He had killed a lot of transformation path Gu immortals and annexed all of their Dao marks. The most significant harvest was when he had killed Wu Yi and the 2 immortals inside the regional wall. Just this alone gave Fang Yuan close to 50,000 transformation path Dao marks. 1,000 Dao marks could double the effect. 10,000 Dao marks could give 10 times the amplification. 50,000 Dao marks meant 50 times the amplification. What did that imply? Ordinary rank 7 Gu immortals would have about 10,000 to 30,000 Dao marks of their main path. Xia Fei Kuai was a rank 7 expert, his light path Dao marks exceeded 30,000 in number. But how could they compare to Fang Yuan? As a result, Xia Fei Kuai and Xia Zhua Mo could only stare wide-eyed at the rapid proliferation of the small tortoise shells that soon covered the whole valley, and were spreading further. The dark and dense numbers of tortoise shells were like locusts and ants. Xia Fei Kuai's expression sank. These small tortoise shells had increased by such a quantity in just a short while, emitting a heavy mental pressure to others. However, Xia Fei Kuai skillfully used the circumstances of the spar. According to the rule they decided upon, Fang Yuan could only defend and not attack, so Fang Yuan could not take the initiative to use these small tortoise shells to attack Xia Fei Kuai. Xia Fei Kuai calmed his mind and activated his Immortal Killer move. Light Path Immortal Killer move, Saw Light Wheel. His 2 hands, that were above his head, chopped down at once. A dazzling wheel of light flew out from Xia Fei Kuai's palms. The wheel of light grew rapidly and soon was the size of a boat. The wheel of light was continuously rotating, its edges were filled with saw teeth. Good. Xia Zhuemo inwardly cheered. The tortoise shells are hard, but this move saws through the target. Even if the tortoise shells are very hard, they will still be sliced apart. However, at the next moment, swish swish swish, countless tortoise shells flew over. Crack crack crack. Under the tortoise shell's self-destructive charge, the saw light wheel could only fly for a short distance before it was completely destroyed. Xia Zhuemo. Xia Fei Kuai. Fang Yuan praised loudly, great killer move, this move is extraordinary, it actually destroyed over 6,000 of my thoughts. These words were like a slap upon the cheeks of Xia Zhuemo and Xia Fei Kuai. Xia Fei Kuai needed a lot of time to prepare for this immortal killer move. Normally speaking, the shorter the preparation time for an immortal killer move, the better it was, because if it took longer, it could very easily be disrupted. Once the immortal killer move's activation was disrupted, there would be backlash which often caused heavy injuries to the Gu immortal. Xia Fei Kuai had used the sparring rule, and was able to safely activate this immortal killer move. However, as he was activating the immortal killer move, Fang Yuan was also doing the same. Xia Fei Kuai activated Saw Light Wheel. At the same time, Fang Yuan could create 30-40,000 small tortoise shell thoughts. The outcome was obvious, the Saw Light Wheel was besieged and destroyed by over 6,000 small tortoise shell thoughts. Even a fool could compute the numbers here. The method which Xia Fei Kuai had placed his hopes in had ended up like this. This was so embarrassing. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know in the report chapter so we can fix it as soon as possible.